Welcome to the Verify Pipeline Execution 14.8 kickoff. My name is jheimbuck, Product Manager for the Pipeline Execution Group here at GitLab. As a reminder, this group is responsible for GitLab CI, such as pipelines, pipeline processing, as well as the category of merge trains. I'm joined by the Pipeline Execution Product Designer, Vitika. And in 14.8, we're focused on CI minute visibility and CI minute metering for open source projects while mitigating pipeline abuse. You'll find a link to the 14.8 kickoff page for GitLab with links to the items that we're going to talk about today and the Verify Stage direction page with discussion of our future work in pipeline execution, as well as the other groups in the comments below the video. You can always reach me at jheimbuck@gitlab.com or through comments on these items or any item with the group pipeline execution label on it in the GitLab project. So focusing in on 14.8, and I'm already sharing our 14.8 wrong issue, this planning issue. Today I want to talk through the things that we're going to be working on. And our big focus is continue to work towards our goals for separating the cost factor for open source public projects and public projects on GitLab that are not part of our open source program. And so today I want to talk through a little bit more, not necessarily the issues in the milestone, but where we're at in this project. And so we've broken this down into a couple of iterations. And iteration 1, adding the high-level quota for public projects that was completed previously. Currently, we're in iteration 2 of making the duration of the project pipelines visible. And the last item there is adding that monthly pipeline duration for projects in namespaces for CI performance visibility. This is an item that the team has started in 14.7 and is looking to wrap up in 14.8. That'll make it a lot easier to track your shared runner duration or your wall clock time for pipelines and your CI minute consumption, which is how you're actually billed. So what's still left in this overall larger epic is iteration 3, and that's really implementing that one-to-one CI CD minute to pipeline duration quota for those public projects that aren't part of the open source program through GitLab. And so we have a number of issues here. The team has already started and picked up work on a couple of those in 14.7. You see the milestones here. And really, we're going to start implementing or enforcing these in 14.8 with hardening the CI limit for public projects. That is for projects that were created after the July 21st or July 2021 milestone or the July 2021 release. And then after that, we're going to be enforcing that for all public projects that are not part of the open source program with GitLab. I also wanted to call out that we're deferring some work where we're going to move on to other opportunities as a group before we come back and revisit these. So a couple of those are the minute notifications, alerting a user as to when they're approaching their minute limits. That's something that we want to get back to soon. And then minute configuration, allowing you at a group level to assign minutes to different projects so that they can use different amounts of your quota. Those are both opportunities that we do want to explore later. We do want to make sure that we're solving the right problems for our users before we pick those up. And so for now, we're deferring that work as we explore some other opportunities. So that's a quick recap of what we're working on in this larger epic and where we're at and where we're going. But I also want to hand it off to Vitika, who's working on some really interesting work in design and research. And so I'll pass it off to her now to talk through those items.
Thanks, James. All right. There you go. Yeah. So besides focusing on visibility of CI minutes and other changes that James just spoke about, on the design side, we have some pretty exciting developments as well. So for example, this issue, previously, in our previous kickoff video, we mentioned about a research that was underway and which was to understand like how we communicate to our users the merge strategies and options that they have set up for their projects when they are merging a change. So the labels that you see on the merge widget, in case you have opted for merge train, one of those could be start merge train when pipeline succeeds and so on. So what we want to do is we want to make our communication simpler. We created some designs and we took them to our users, and we tried to understand like how can we make this whole experience better. Now, based on that, the first change that we are going to do is if you would make some small little changes to our merge widget design to better communicate to you like what's the progress of the merging process. And this will be paired with a change in the label as well. So stay tuned for that change. And The other issue that we would be looking at, so you know that we have been working on making our pipeline and job index page more usable. And to complement that effort, we thought, why not also look at the details page? So for example, in this one, we are talking about the job detail page. From a recent discussion on an MR, we learned that the erase action that we show on the job detail page, which appears right above the job logs, it does more than just delete the logs. And this caught our attention, and we have introduced some change to communicate this action better. But apart from that change, what we also see as necessary is elevating the level for this action, because it definitely is more than just a localized action for just the logs. And that is it. These are the two major issues that we'll be looking at in the upcoming milestone design-wise. But along with this, we would also be following up on a bunch of issues that we're working on this milestone, because they are much larger in scope. And that's all from me. Back to you, James.
Thanks, Vitika. I'm really excited about those, especially the simplification on auto merge. And when I started at GitLab, because we use merge trains on the www site and within our docs in some places, it was really confusing about what was going to actually happen with the MR when I hit that button. And so there's a lot of hesitation of, do I want to hit the button? What's going to happen if I hit the button? So clarifying that process, especially for new users onboarding onto GitLab, I think is going to be a huge improvement. That's exciting.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's going to make a lot of change for our users.
Yeah, so we're very excited for 14.8. If any of these issues are of interest to you, feel free to give us a tag on those issues. You can tag me at jheimbuck_GL. I'd be happy to start a conversation about the issues. Thanks so much.